So as the new cultural trends start to emerge, women start going from being totally covered up and corseted to this. This young woman here is what the 1920s knew as a flapper. See, women wanted to feel a little more liberated instead of held back and oppressed. So we see women start wearing shorter dresses, higher heels, and oh my gosh, they'll go out on a Saturday night, drink and smoke with the guys, and dance the Charleston. How scandalous. So these women were really pushing traditional American values in this time frame. Now, it wasn't just them that was pushing traditional values. There was also the automobile. I remember Henry Ford used the assembly line to mass produce cars and make them on the cheap. Now, since everyone was coming home from the war, everyone had jobs, lots of money going around, lots of people bought cars, and people could go places where before there were cars, it would take them weeks to get there. Now they could get there in a matter of hours. So, along with cars and along with the scandalous young women known as the flappers, we get some other challenges to traditional values. Now, in the 1920s, Darwin's theory of evolution became popularized. Now, if we remember, we started off as kind of a Christian-based society. The theory of evolution, where man descended from ape and not from God, was kind of frustrating to some people. And this kind of caught fire during the Scopes trial. Now, long story short, there was a guy in Tennessee where teaching evolution was outlawed. He had the audacity to teach about evolution in Tennessee. And the community of the school there flipped out because they were firmly believers and didn't think evolution should be taught in schools. Eventually, it was ruled in favor of the teacher. Technically, he did break the law, but he couldn't go to jail for it because the United States government could not be supporting a religious view of science. Traditional role of women was challenged by the flappers and the 19th Amendment. And if we don't remember what the 19th Amendment is, that is women's right to vote. That was given to us by the progressive movement. Now, last unit, 2 units ago, I'm sorry, we talked about a new tide of immigration. We had a lot of immigrants coming into the cities to work in factories. And with immigrants comes problems. The KKK sees an influx. They go after not only the African American community moving to the cities, but the new immigrants coming into the cities as well. They pretty much just hated everyone who didn't look like them. And another influence brought on by immigrants, not necessarily all immigrants, just a handful, was a Red Scare. Communism becomes a hot button topic here. And we'll talk about communism in a few more units. But people start trying to find out who the communists or who the anarchists amongst the immigrants were. Just made people very, very untrusting of immigrants coming into the country. And probably one of the hallmark things of this era was prohibition. So those flappers wanted to go out drinking on a Saturday night. They were doing it illegally. So smuggling alcohol becomes a major issue. Speakeasies. If you wanted to go get liquored up, you had to go to a bar behind a bookcase, or you had to tap on the door a specific sequence of times to get into a speakeasy where people would sell you alcohol, but it was always highly illegal. And if the police caught anybody running one of these speakeasies, they went to jail. All right, so American traditions are being challenged. Now, the high times couldn't last forever. There's a situation brewing with the stock market, and it's going to lead us into the stock market crash of 1929 and the Great Depression.